Okay, so I'm continuing with the viability test and how I would respond, how I would have put the test. And the next question is sufficient support network. I would give I would give myself a 3 out of 10 for that. Why? Because all I have is kind of my family members and one or two friends who I I like the Phil guy who I've known for 5 years. But yeah, he's kind of he looks very different to me. So if people saw us together, that we look like an odd couple. Um, and um, and and yeah, he doesn't believe that I'm Christ, so I feel like that adds barriers. And yeah, with the other guy, I don't know. I really like him and he's very helpful. But yeah, the other day he told me that he was a strong Christian, and I don't know, the way he said it just made me feel like I never want to see him ever again. So yeah, I don't have, they're my friends, but are they, is the question, are they really my friends? I don't really know. Um, and then I've got my family, my sister, I just don't know how much to trust her with the child. And with my mum, I know she is completely batty. I know she will be here a lot, and she will probably be living with me, and I'll probably be able to continue going to the gym if she's around, because she's definitely trustworthy to look after the child for a few hours. But yeah, I wouldn't do it for more than that. So therefore, in fact, actually, sufficient support network could actually be a bit lower than 3. To be honest, I mean it's pretty bad. But hey, the social services are actually thinking of putting Linda as like the main carer. So maybe Linda is better than. But yeah, that's definitely one that is very very low. I can I yeah, I'm good enough by myself, but at the same time, my support network is not very good. Never has been. But anyway, sufficient time and space to vote um, to vote to everyone in the family. Well, I've given myself an 8 because I don't really work. I have a few hours of work a week, and I don't have to do that. I can stop and start whenever I want. I can go to London. I can travel whenever I want. I can take time off. So I have plenty of time to give. The question is, do I really want to be giving that time, or I feel like sometimes being around my mum makes me feel a bit crazy because she just goes on and on and on about the same questions. Um, you know, so I have the time. It's not like I have a busy job or have other commitments. I do have the religion as my commitment, but right now everyone just seems to be ignoring me on that, and and okay, it's taking up all my time, but it's only taking up all my time because I'm bored and have nothing else to do. But yeah, I do have the time, so I've got 8 out of 10 because of all the free time that I have. And I guess the reason why it's not 10 out of 10 is because um, there's a large part that makes me think, do I really want to be spending that much time with my family? Because I do when I'm not around them, but whenever I'm around them, I don't want to be around them. So it's like okay. Ability to work with professionals and seek out help and accept help. I would have put it like at 8 or 9 a few weeks ago, well, before this viability test that they did. But now I'm putting it at a 5 because I have lost trust for them, and I still don't know what's going on. I'm suspicious that I don't know. I'm suspicious that a lot of them are Christian, hence think I'm mad because of my beliefs. But at the same time, I don't actually know if that's the case. I mean, there's a few people that are responding, um, but they're not. I don't feel like I'm actually communicating with them. Is the question? I feel like they're responding because I've asked if I want to try and prove this wrong, how do I go to the courts? How do I do this? And they kind of gave me the answer, um, but at the same time, it doesn't really help me because I still have no idea where their position is on my abilities. I don't believe that they think this is correct, but I haven't got any confirmation that they're actually wanting to work with me. And because out of this, I don't feel like I want to work with them because I don't want to work with them if all they're going to do is insult me or call me crazy. I do believe that I'm Christ and God, and okay, I don't know everything, and I'm not going to do everything right because I have only a memory of someone who's 36 and hasn't had many opportunities in life. So I'm not great, but yeah, it would be. I work with professionals every day in my massage job. So it's 5 because I should be able to work well with professionals because I do. But yeah, I think the professionals that they're talking about here are in reference to social services and things like this. And I, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on whether or not that's even a good idea, because I don't want to be doing things that are going to risk me losing a child. Or, if you don't agree with the same things, like they don't agree with me making YouTube videos, whereas I do. If you have a mash on agreements, then it becomes awkward. Um, Specific strengths relating to the care and ability to meet a child's needs. This is just a list of I've actually kept what the other person reported. Motivated and caring, and I've just left it. I'm not very good at talking about my positive sides. I'd rather talk about my negative sides, but I've added that I have a high level of intelligence and are excellent at and excited. I mean, excited about the thought of looking after a child, because she's wanted that for a long time. So I've added that into it. That's my strengths. And my negatives are that I'm dyslexic, so I might misread things, or might get a wrong impression based on something like a word that I've read wrong, or read a sentence wrong that made it sound worse than it should be, or whatever. And that can also be if you get letters from doctors or whatever. Sometimes you can misread things and stuff. But I also have a job that does come with risks. Most of my clients are fine, but occasionally you do get someone who has come thinking that you're a prostitute, and you have to ask them to leave. I believe that doing massage is very safe if you're just doing massage. But if you start doing, hand relief, hand relief's not that bad. But if you start doing sex, you'll definitely get the wrong type of people. You'll get dodgy widows, and yeah, I get a lot of these people calling me up. There's definitely risks. Sometimes you get weird people that just like text and they call on lots of different numbers, and you're pretty sure it's the same person because they will ask for the same things, and you just want them to go away. But I don't know. It's not. There is a downside to the job, and so these are the risks that I have to mention. And yeah, I also don't want a partner, and because I don't want a partner, looking after a child as a single person is always going to be more difficult. And so that's another risk. I also have a dislike towards guys, and yeah, this is a boy, so hopefully there'll be one boy I don't like. I mean, one boy I do like, one boy that I don't like, but so do like. But yeah, these are problems that I've had to list. And then recommendations. Okay, my recommendation is that I'm sure Anna will be a good carer for the long or short term, but it's true that if this was a real test, someone's going to meet me for 1 hour, and I think the true assessment should be that you've only just met this person for an hour and you don't know much about them, and therefore you cannot fully say that they're safe with a child based on a 1 hour conversation. And I feel like that needs to be part of the assessment if it is being assessed by one person who's just met you for an hour. If there are concerns made by other people in regards to things they've seen, it would be best to get reports on this person in the hospital, or just whenever someone is seen with that child. How is that person responding to that child? If I seem all nice and friendly without a child, and as soon as you see me with a child, I'm shouting at him, or looking at him in disgust or whatever. This is all reasons to be concerned. But yeah, I think you can't fully make you can make recommendations as to I recommend that you see how she is with the child, and make reports. That would be a recommendation that I would say that everyone should say. Anna presents. Anna has prepared a nice room and the house, and yeah, so I've just said things like that. And this test perhaps should. And also a recommendation would be that if you suspect someone is a prostitute and just lying and saying that they're a masseuse because of they don't want the truth to be revealed, I would recommend that social services does a check. Just get a guy to call that person and ask them what they offer, And you don't have to do it just once. Maybe do it every month or something if the child is in a protection plan. Because the different types of people that you would get would change according to what services you offer. And the more sexual service you offer, that the worse the kind of people that are more likely to enter the door, and the more you're putting your child at risk. And so, I think it's important that if you think someone is a prostitute, that you do a check on it, and it's not against someone's privacy to do this. So yeah, my recommendation is that you do a test. Just get someone to call and ask what the services are, without saying that who you are. Just test them basically. And if you tested me, you would know that I don't do prostitution, and therefore the clients that I get are most likely to be safe. But yes, that is